Chicago Bears Now is presented by Roan. Looking for a change-up in your wardrobe? Look no further than Roan. Comfortable, stylish clothing, and you can get 20% off with code ChatSports at roan.com/chatsports. Go check them out today. My name is Harrison Graham. Alan Williams is out. He resigned on Wednesday. So on today's show, we're going to look at some internal and external candidates to replace him as this team's defensive coordinator. And I think we need to start with this question. Do the Bears even need to hire a defensive coordinator? Because we'll talk about Matt Eberflus in a second, but he's going to be calling the plays, at least for now. Type Y for yes, they still do, even if this person doesn't call the plays. Or type in for no if you don't think they do. Let us know in the comment section below. And before we dive into all this, please give me a follow on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. Been tweeting about the Bears constantly, the latest news, updates, my thoughts on everything going on. Obviously, we're going to continue to bring that here on this show. But if you want little tidbits in real time, I encourage you to follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at HGrahamNFL. Okay, Matt Eberflus will call plays. At least for now, the head coach will call the plays on game days. Now, that does not mean you don't need a defensive coordinator, at least in title. Now, I think that here's what's likely to happen. Matt Eberflus will call the defense the rest of the year, unless they fire him midseason or something like that. But assuming that doesn't happen, I think Flus will call the defense the rest of the year. But that doesn't mean that you don't need a defensive coordinator. Like, even head coaches that call offense and defense in the NFL, they still have an offensive and defensive coordinator because there is a game preparation, day-to-day time management that takes place. Like, Matt Eberflus can't just be putting a defensive game plan together. He's got to be in offensive meetings. He's got to be in special teams meetings. He's the head coach. So even if he's calling the defense and more involved in the game prep on that side, there's still like hours of work that needs to be given to someone else. Like, you have to replace what Alan Williams was doing during the week somewhere. Like, someone's got to be able to do that. So whether that's someone who's already in the building and you divvy out more hours to people or whatever that is, that slack does have to be picked up over the course of an 18-week season. So you look at some internal candidates. I think the most obvious one here is John Hoke, the pass game coordinator, who is back this year with his second stint with the Chicago Bears. He's the cornerbacks coach, but he already has the title of defensive passing game coordinator. You look at his profile, he's got 42 years of coaching experience, 18 in the NFL, second stint with the Bears. This is an organization that trusts him, and he already has that pass game coordinator title for the defense. That feels like the natural progression. Give him a defensive coordinator title. Give him more duties throughout the week. Let him be an assistant to Flus to help put the defensive game plan together, even more so than he's probably already doing. Feels like that's the most likely situation. Let's go to another name here. Dave Borgonzi, the linebackers coach, who's highly regarded in this league. Matt Eberflus also brought him over from Indianapolis, just like he did Alan Williams, so it's someone he trusts. Now, obviously, that didn't work out with Allen, but maybe it would work out in this case. 17 years of coaching experience for Borgonzi, and like I said, he followed Flus to Chicago. So this is someone that Flus has high regard for in terms of being a football coach. So you could elevate him to defensive coordinator in title and give him some more duties as well. Some more internal candidates to explore, and then we'll get to some interesting external ones here in just a few minutes. But first, want to show our love to our sponsor, I should say, Roan. Show some love to Roan. Listen, I've been rocking the summer polos all summer long. I'm about to bring back the long sleeve shirts as the winter approaches, and you guys should as well, because Roan's Commuter Collection, which has reinvented the men's closet, offers the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man, because they have comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos. Their four-way stretch fabric provides that breathability you need, the flexibility if you're on the run a lot, if you're traveling. Like I'm about to travel this weekend. Wearing Roan is going to make me feel very, very comfortable. I'm going to a wedding as well. I'm actually in a wedding this weekend, and going to be rocking a Roan button down with my suit as well. So that's what you really like to have, that versatility, which is what Roan provides. I encourage you guys to go check them out. Tons of different clothing available. Looking good is easy, but feeling comfortable while you're doing it, that is the key, and that's what Roan's clothing does. Roan.com/chatsports. Promo code ChatSports to get 20% off. Head over there today. It's RHONE.com/ChatSports, code ChatSports for 20% off. Link in the comments and in the description. We'll kind of go rapid fire on these next three here. Andre Curtis, the safeties coach, he's been around the NFL for a long time. He's someone to keep in mind to at least take on some extra duties here. Travis Smith, the defensive line coach, who is a Rod Marinelli disciple. So that's an interesting option, who's currently on this staff. And then David Overstreet, who also came over from Indianapolis, second year here, assistant defensive backs coach. That could be a situation where if Hoke gets elevated to defensive coordinator, maybe Overstreet gets a title to just overall defensive backs coach, not an assistant DBs coach. So that's certainly a possibility as well. Now, will this defense play better with Alan Williams gone? Regardless of what the personal situation stuff is there, do you think the defense will be better with Matt Eberflus calling the plays? Type B if you think it will be better, or type W if you think it's going to be worse. Can't be much worse. It sucked last year. It sucked week 1. It was slightly better week 2 under Flus. So I'm going to type my B for better. All right, let's get to the fun part of the show. Some external candidates. How about Lovie Smith? And look, on the surface, this sounds crazy, right? This would be wild. Former head coach who you fired probably when you shouldn't have. He won 10 games and you fired him, and you've had one winning season since, I believe. It would be interesting, right? Like, it would be a bit wild if he were to come back, even if it wasn't as a defensive coordinator, just as like a resource for this team this year, which is why I actually think there could be an appeal to it, because Lovie Smith has a lot of experience. Number one, he's the last Bears head coach to sustain any type of success over an extended period of time, and he's been gone since 2012, so that shows you how it's gone since then. Bucs head coach did not work out there. Illinois, he was okay, but he stuck around the area, obviously. And then the whole Texans thing, I don't know how you really judge Lovie on that situation. I mean, like, they hired David Culley, fired him. They promoted Lovie Smith, fired him. So I don't really know what you take away from that. But here's what I'll say. This may not seem as crazy as you think, and here's why. There's chaos right now within the Chicago Bears organization. I know Ryan Poles came out this morning and said there's no panic in the building, this and that. The noise is getting very loud, though. You could use a calming presence, and I think Lovie Smith is one of those guys. He could help, even if he's just a resource, like, what do they call, like, defensive analyst, special advisor to the head coach, whatever it is, just like, hey, I'm available. Like, and by the way, it's the same defense. It's that Tampa 2 cover 2. Like, it's not like he can't offer some insight and take on some of those duties if needed to. Like, if anyone can come in on the fly, he's probably at the top of the list of someone who could actually add just a positive resource in the building, and B, actually help with the X's and O's due to the defense you run as well. Couple more to look at here, but hit that subscribe button. Win or lose, good news or bad news, seems to be bad recently, but we're going to have you covered, because that's what we do here on this show. We bring you the latest. I give you my opinions on everything going on with the Chicago Bears. Appreciate all the support. You guys have been coming in big numbers recently, and that's a credit to you guys, and hopefully that means we're doing a decent job as well. So appreciate all that, and if you haven't subscribed already, we would greatly appreciate it. It's 100% free. How about another familiar name, Rod Marinelli? I mentioned him earlier. Obviously, he was on this Bears coaching staff a while ago, and I think the most number one reason why this would intrigue me is this is Matt Eberflus's mentor. When Matt Eberflus was the linebackers coach in Dallas and Marinelli was the defensive coordinator there, as you look at Rod Marinelli's resume, they got very close. Like, Matt Eberflus has mentioned Marinelli a lot in the year and a half he's been here in Chicago. That is someone he trusts. That is someone he believes in. And look, here's the bottom line. Marinelli's experienced. He's been in this organization before. Him and Flus are tight. Similar defensive principles. Now, Rod Marinelli is 73, 74 years old. This is not some long-term solution, but a guy who can help you for 3 months, 4 months, if he's open to doing it, I would absolutely bring this guy in. Again, he's not going to call the defense on game day. Can he help you with game prep, though? Can he be a resource to Matt Eberflus? Like, Rod Marinelli was a head coach in Detroit, and it did not go well. He could offer insight to this bad start for Matt Eberflus and this coaching staff. So It's intriguing to me. I don't know if they would do this. I don't know if Marinelli wants to do it, to be honest, with how old he is. But you could certainly do a much worse in terms of bringing in a name worth considering. Okay, this one's really out there. How about Pat Fitzgerald? Now, the side of me that's like, Harrison, this is moronic, is, well, regardless of what we know and don't know at Northwestern, he got fired for hazing claims, and you're already dealing with bad PR right now. Whether all that is true, if it's all his fault or not, that a little bit seems to be yet to be determined. But they fired him for a reason, so that's a concern. But here's what I do know: he has a defensive background, and he loves the Bears. He's been linked to this head coaching opening in the past, 2018, when Nagy got the job. Fans were clamoring for him, even a little bit a couple of years ago. Now, I don't know if you can go this route just with everything surrounding Fitz right now, and more importantly, surrounding the Bears. But I did want to include him, and I just wanted you guys to kind of weigh in on that in the comments. So give me your thoughts when it comes to Pat Fitzgerald. All right, pick one. External candidate. Who would you like to bring in here? If it's Lovie Smith, type LS. If it's Rod Marinelli, type RM. If it's Pat Fitzgerald, type PF. If I had to rank most to least likely, I would go Marinelli 1, Lovie 2, Fitzgerald 3. So we'll see. I still am not convinced they'll bring in anyone externally. Whether that's a good or a bad idea, I don't know. My prediction is John Hoke will get a title upgrade. He will be the defensive coordinator in title. He'll take on more responsibilities during the week. And Matt Eberflus will continue to call the defense. That's where I think it's heading, at least right now. Maybe over a few weeks' time, they feel like they need more help and they bring in an outside voice. But at this point in time, that is what I would predict will be the adjustments for the Chicago Bears defensive coaching staff. All right, that's going to do it. We'll be live later this afternoon, probably 4 o'clock Central, so stay tuned for that. That's typically the time we've been going on Thursdays. My name is Harrison Graham. Subscribe, and we will see you then.